All right, our next guest coming on. This guy, has also taken the field by storm this season. You know, I, I like him because he's such a humble kid. Uh, Yesterday, like I said, I was interviewing one of the coaches, and he actually snuck in the room for a little bit and saw the interview. But the thing I enjoyed the most was he was coming there to watch film, and he was coming in there to prepare himself for a great weekend this weekend out of A&M. And it shows you where his focus is. It shows you why he's having the success he's having. No coach I saw that told him, "Hey, you had to come in here and do this." I saw him doing this on his own, and that's the difference that sets apart great players and the players that want to be great. The ones that are great are the ones that put the work in. The ones that want to be great sometimes don't put the work in, but want the accolades. And this guy, is one of the up and rising stars on our offense. He can run. He know how to run routes. He can get open. And right now he's averaging 12.4 yards a catch, 174 receiving yards. So far, 14 receptions and 2 touchdowns so far through 3 games. So, I'm gonna let him come on the set. Auburn family, get ready to hear from Jay Fair, big time receiver so far this season. Jay, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Hey man, I'm doing good, man. You got the LEDs in the ceiling. You,
I
you
got a little
got
something going on.
you got a little something going on. But Jay, I got my co-host on here, Nic Young, like I said, who's a grad communication student here at Auburn, looking to get into the broadcast business as well. And so got him opportunity to ask you guys a couple of questions along with me. But Jay, just talk about it, man. This season, just coming in, you have so many transfer guys come in, and then also you got transfer quarterbacks come in, and then you got transfer offensive linemen come in. How has it been so far trying to get everyone on the same page as a unit so that we can all like be working for one accord?
It's been a pretty big adjustment. But I think like every other program that's all going through the same thing, we just kind of kept pushing through it.
Mhm.
Um, I feel like we worked really hard in the summer to try to get as many of those guys together. Whether it's extra film session or going over plays or doing routes on air. I feel like everybody pretty much played their role in the summer as far as trying to get everybody together closer.
Yeah, you talk about like the first couple of weeks we was rotating a lot of guys in and out, and it's kind of hard to get into a rhythm. It's kind of hard to get into find your chemistry. When that's going on. But last week against Sanford, you guys kind of played a little bit longer. It wasn't so much rotation going, and you can kind of see the flow of the offense kind of speed up as well. Just talk about the tempo of you guys getting in and out of the huddle, and for receivers, how does it work for you when it comes to the RPO game?
So basically, pretty much, we'll scheme up a team based off of their base defense, and we'll have a set RPO that we use throughout the game. Whether it's a run, inside zone, outside zone, we'll have a set RPO. Now that could change given to the quarterback if he sees something he likes. There is an option for him to change it. But I think the most important thing is everybody knows what everybody has, so therefore that allows us to move pretty quickly through the field.
Yeah, go ahead, Nick.
Okay. So Jay, you've emerged as one of the top receivers. You've had the most targets so far in receptions, and I was just wondering, what does that relationship look like with your quarterbacks for you to get all those targets? Is it like, just walk us through that relationship?
Um, So, the guys came up in the summer. We were all running routes every day.
Hmm.
Um, we were all getting extra time in the film room. I think a lot of it is just time and space and how things work out. Um, we're all doing our job. Um, but I mean, it's been pretty successful so far. Our game plan week in and week out. So hopefully we can continue to have some success on that side of the ball.
Yeah, watching you guys, man, you and Thorne seem to have like this connection. It seemed like y'all built some early success together as far as like you kind of knowing where he wants you to be, and and him putting the ball where you like it. He's had a really couple nice throws to you down the field. How has that been as far as like working with him and you guys being on the same page so quickly?
It's been pretty nice. A lot of hard work, a lot of long days, long hours. A lot of days of just fighting through. I don't know if my body can go through it today. Um, but that's just part of it. You got to charge into the game and keep going.
Yeah.
Um, but I'm happy to see some of that success is happening so early in the season. due to the hard work that's been going on in the offseason.
Yeah, I saw you guys studying together yesterday. You and him just in there kind of watching film together, going over some things on the board together. You know, that is what separates, the connection is because you guys spend that quality time together. Like, uh, how did y'all get to that? For us a leadership standpoint, like, is there something inside you as a receiver that you want certain goals this year? Uh, just talk to us a little bit about how you guys just form that commitment together.
I'd probably say the biggest thing, I made him feel like home when he first came in.
Mm.
Transferred is never easy for anybody. And coming from up north and down south is a big adjustment as far as football goes.
Yeah.
Um, so I just pretty much just told him like, hey, if you need anything, I'm here as far as moving in or questions you have. But he handled it pretty well. He learned the offense rather quickly. This is an offense that I've kind of been used to. I ran it in high school, which is very, very similar. Um, so I just kind of made it an emphasis to get with him, make sure everything was good. Considering he'd be given a fair opportunity to kind of take this offense by the horns.
Hmm.
So I just pretty much just did everything in my power to try to be there for him and make things as smooth as possible. The work came in the off season and things just clicked for us like that.
Gotcha. You got it, Nick.
Okay. So this is a pretty much entirely new group of offensive guys. I know you're one of the few people from last season that's still around. I was wondering, have you seen a culture change in terms of maybe the new pieces coming in and how it's kind of culminated?
There's been a huge coaching change, not only in our room, but the whole nine. Whether it's the
Mm.
the staff, weight room, nutrition. There's been a culture change all around. That even goes back to the fans, traveling how they did to that Cal game. So I'd say there's been a pretty big culture, and I think Coach Davis has done a good job of kind of putting that culture into the transfers. Um, so I'd say that there's been a pretty big change for the better throughout the room and the whole program.
Yeah, man. I was messing with your coach Marcus Davis yesterday. I interviewed him about some his old film back when he played at his Auburn days, and he had a great game out there at A&M. He caught one on his shoulder on the drive to actually to win the game.
Yes,
Has he
sir.
had an opportunity to show y'all that film yet? Because he told me he was going to show it to y'all. Since
He
y'all was playing
did.
A&M this week.
Yes, sir. That was one of the first things he showed us yesterday. He kind of played it back in slow motion. The sun was really right there in his eyes as he
Yeah.
caught it. Um, but he told us that was his first time getting in. It was third and long. I think it was something like that. It was like third and long. His first time getting in all game. And he was in there and able to make that play. So that's just kind of how we start off the week by talking about A&M. So I was pretty shocked to see how he came down with that because the sun was right there in his eye.
Yeah, and like I said, y'all getting ready to go play A&M this week. There has to be a different level of excitement. You play these games, you play UMass, then you play Cal. And Cal was a lot tougher than people thought. They had 52 new players on their roster as well from transfers and signees. And then last week you play a Sanford team, and you can see the emphasis was to get the receivers the ball more. To get you guys more involved in the offense, more confidence, be more balanced, because we do have a talented receiver room. Like I said, but
Right.
you're only as good as your opportunities. And I feel like the first 2 weeks, there's kind of, let's build a run game a little bit. But it seemed like emphasis was on the passing game against Sanford to get you guys geared up. Is that's how you guys felt? That's how y'all preparation were because you knew SEC players coming up. You got to be balanced.
Yes, sir. I feel like that's a big part of our offense, not being too one-sided. So I feel like we can get a strong run game or even a strong pass game to start the game off early. I feel like that'll help us a lot as far as just staying consistent throughout all 4 quarters. But I feel like they really did put a big emphasis on that last week.
I'll cut your mic up a little bit.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
Okay. I feel like they did put a big emphasis on that last week just to kind of get guys consistent with that feeling of the game with the offense. So I feel like it'll be a pretty big emphasis to either start off with a strong runner or a strong pass game.
Hmm. You got it, Nick.
So Jay, we've seen a huge in just 3 games alone. We've seen a jump in production as opposed to last year. And I was wondering what factors you think attribute to that to the jump in production.
Uh, like Jason said, I feel like it's just opportunities. You're only as good as the opportunities that are given to you, and I feel like I just made the most of my opportunities.
Yeah. So Jay, before we let you out of here, man, big week this week. I just talked to Eugene. I just said this to him. Like, you guys had a 9:30 late game in Cal Central Time. And then now you get the earliest game that you can possibly play in the daytime against A&M.
Yeah.
You know, what's the mindset going into this game offensively? I know there's a lot of emphasis on, hey, we got to start fast. But what are the keys that you feel like to this game in order for us to come out successful from an offensive standpoint that we have to do?
I feel like something that we struggled with in the past couple games, but we really need to emphasize is taking care of the ball.
Mhm.
Because that's wasted possessions right there, turning the ball over. So I feel like if we take care of the ball, and defense comes out pretty strong, emphasizing stopping the run game or pass, whichever one A&M decides they want to come swinging with first. I feel like that'll allow the offense to kind of get consistent and then the swing of things early, which will therefore allow us to come out with the win.
And what do you see from them defensively that you feel like, hey, these guys are good at?
They're a very talented team. They run a lot of cover three, which I
Hmm.
didn't expect. I was more so expecting a little man, but I guess that
Yeah.
kind of said something. Um, but they're a very talented team. They play fast. Um, a little bit of man on third down. So I feel like as long as we attack leverages and run the green grass, we'll be fine.
Yeah. Well, hey man, we appreciate you taking your time, come out on the show. We know you guys had late practice. SEC week is just always different. It's always different. It seems like everything just ramps up a lot more. The energy ramps up a lot more. This is a game that you only have to talk about much to get excited about. One thing I was pleased with you guys last week against Sanford is, you know, we're all human, we're players, and sometimes you can look at the team on your schedule, you be like, man, it's hard to get up for that one, because you
Right.
expect to go out and dominate. But you guys came out, you handled your business. The thing I liked about it in Cal is you fought through adversity and y'all finished strong. And you could play a Sanford team, but now you're getting ready to go into the big house and play A&M. And I feel like you guys are prepared. I feel like you guys are ready. You had some early things you had to get through, and I was happy to see the passing game last week evolve, man, because I know there's talent there. And I know that that can help the quarterbacks and it can help, the run game as well to open up by giving you guys those opportunities, man. So we wish you the best this weekend. Before we let you go, tell the Auburn family what it meant to them to see you guys when they all came out to Cal Berkeley, for y'all to put eyes on them. It's over 10,000 people in the stands. What that does to a player and to the team.
Oh yeah, that's really huge. Me personally, I had a lot of family out there in Cal, so I wasn't really expecting too much Auburn out there. But when we came out early on and we see the support from the crowd, it was pretty spectacular, especially traveling all the way to the West Coast,
Mhm.
and given that I don't think we've ever won on the West Coast
Nope.
side before.
Mm.
So that was pretty spectacular to see all the fans out there support us. It really shows what we have going on here in Auburn.
Yep, good deal, man. Well, appreciate your time. Thanks for coming on. Stay healthy this weekend, man. Go out there and do your thing. Continue much success, and I'll see you guys at the game.
Yes, sir.
War,
Thank you for
war.
having me,
Yep, War Eagle.
War Eagle.
All right, on to victory, family, Auburn family. If you went to Auburn or you just like to tune into our shows and you feel part of the family, you're welcome. And like I said, great job tonight, Nick. We continue to try to bring in on an intern here and there. You may see Nick from time to time as I bring him on the show. Like I say, he's an Auburn student and graduate student in communications, and I want to give him all the experience we can before he enters the real world and start applying for local jobs and everything in the broadcast business. So, Nick, thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me. I
Uh,
appreciate
no,
it.
we appreciate it, man. We appreciate having you on. So, everybody, let's get ready for this big game this weekend. It's important that we can start off in the SEC play, on a solid note. Like I said, we know we got three gauntlets of a game in a row. You got A&M, Georgia, LSU. It doesn't really get any tougher than that. for any team across the country than that 3 gauntlet of a schedule. So, let's get behind our team, support them, continue to support these guys and everything they do. We thank you for what you do from an NIL perspective and all the things and time and finances that you do to help support our student athletes. It doesn't go unnoticed. And I'll just say thank you personally and on behalf of the players. And let's go. Let's go get it. It's that time. War Eagle.